Hi everyone. In this video, I want to show you how to create a historical event that you can use in FloodAdapt to simulate the flooding and the impacts. So I'm in the Events tab, and I'm going to click Add Event, and I'm going to choose the historical option. When I do that, it asks me for a start time and a stop time. So this is the period of interest when your event occurred. So I'm going to pick an event that happened in 2023. So this was roughly between December 16th and December 19th. And it was a nor'easter storm that led to high water levels in Charleston, the location of this example site. So you can see the high water level here. And so what I can do is I can give it a name. I'll call it nor'easter. So this is lowercase letters, no special characters. Here I can say nor'easter event from 2023. And basically that's enough. Now these water levels were pulled in automatically because this is a site in the US and it's connected to a gauge that NOAA is recording water levels at. And so this is just automatically within the API connected to the NOAA database. So anytime I put in dates, it automatically pulls in the water levels from that database. If you don't have that option, if you're in another location, you can choose other options to define what the water levels were for this event. So you can model them. So run an offshore model, which is usually in your system. So that's one option. You can also maybe download it yourself from some source and put it in a CSV file, or you can use synthetic time series if you have some idea what the water levels were. So there are other options. Now, if I'm interested in this water level event, I'm basically done. I don't need to change any of the other components, the wind, the rainfall, the river discharge. I can leave them, no wind, no rain, and just constant river discharge, and I can say, okay. And you can see here that the event was added in my event window here, and it gives me a summary of what I've chosen: gauged water level, constant rain and windfall, 0, and constant discharge. And my description shows up. Now, in reality, this event actually coincided with a rainfall event. So it can be interesting to run it with and without the rainfall and get a sense of how that rainfall contributed to the flooding. So I'm going to actually go ahead and just copy this event, and I'm going to give it a new name. So this one I'm going to call nor'easter. Underscores are okay in the name. So nor'easter rainfall. And here I'm going to say nor'easter event with rainfall. And say okay. And then I'm going to select it here and I'm going to edit it. So here you see it showing up. This is exactly the same one we just made. Only this time I want to include rainfall. Now I have a record of this rainfall in a CSV file. So I'm going to show you how I can bring that in, but I'm also going to show you what you can do if you don't have that. So first thing I'm going to choose is to bring in a CSV file. And so I import a time series. Now, it also, if you choose the information button, shows you what this CSV file should actually look like. So it's got date in the first column in this format, and then the rainfall should be in inches per hour. Now, this can change for different sites. So if you're working outside the US, this would be probably millimeters per hour. So you can always check the information button to see what your file should look like. So I'm going to click Import Time Series, and I've got my CSV here called Rainfall. I'm going to go ahead and open it, and it's going to pull it in, and then it's actually going to plot it for me so I can see roughly what the rainfall intensity looked like at different points in time. And I can change this visualization if I want to see the water level again. Where it says forcing here, I can go back to water level and then see the water levels again. So I can just toggle between these. And so I'm basically done here, and I can go ahead and click OK. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that. So I'm going to say OK. And then you'll see that the new summary tells me I've got gauged water levels, and I've brought in my rainfall as a CSV. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy this one, And I'm going to call this one Nor'easter Rainfall Synthetic. So you won't always maybe have an easy time getting hold of one of these rainfall records, or maybe you just want to have an idea. So let's see, nor'easter event with, we'll say with synthetic rainfall. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and select that and edit it. And so now I don't want to use the CSV. Sometimes you just want to play around, and maybe later you'll go and hunt down that record of the rainfall. But maybe roughly from news articles, that it was about 4 inches, and that it occurred over about 6 hours or something like that. So you can choose this synthetic option. Now the default is a Gaussian curve. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So let's say indeed it was 4 inches over 12 hours. And you can see the plot update here. So this is perfectly fine. But you do notice that the actual rainfall was very intense. It happened quite, maybe over a period of 4 hours, but quite a dump at a certain point in time. So if we want to get that kind of shape, we can also opt for this SCS curve. So this is used a lot in the United States. And you can see that while it still occurs over the same duration, it has a very peaked part in the middle. So we can choose either one. I'll go ahead and leave it at this for now and say, okay. And you can see now that the summary for this one is updated to tell me I've got the gauged water level, but I've got a synthetic rainfall. So that's all there is to it for creating a historical event. There are some other options for discharge and wind, but they are very similar to the rainfall option. Now, one more thing to alert you to is when you want to read more about the options, you can just click this triangle and you'll be automatically taken to the documentation where you can read in more detail about the different options for the different event components. But this is essentially how it works. And these events are now ready to go into a scenario and be simulated. So thanks for watching this video, and I hope it was helpful. Thank you.